Autopsy confirms gunshot fatality of father of two. Police investigate inconsistent accounts in Sophia shooting. HGP Nightly News reports, an autopsy has confirmed that 27-year-old Xavier Fraser, a father of two, died from a single gunshot wound to the head, heightening the urgency of police investigations into the shooting that occurred late Sunday night in Sophia. Fraser was shot while in the company of another man, who also sustained injuries and remains hospitalized. Disturbingly, Fraser's mother revealed that her son was still alive after the shooting. He was reportedly brought to her home in a car, where he managed to call out to her with a single word, "Mama." After that, Fraser was transported to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation in another vehicle, driven by the same friend who is now under police scrutiny. Sources indicate that law enforcement is not satisfied with the account provided by this friend, describing it as unclear, inconsistent, and evolving. The individual has since been taken into custody as police attempt to piece together the events leading up to the shooting. Family members and close friends of Fraser have rejected claims suggesting he was shot while attempting to purchase a firearm, asserting that such a narrative does not match his character or lifestyle. This has raised further concerns about the circumstances surrounding his death. Police have announced that a full-scale investigation is underway to uncover the truth behind the shooting. This story is still developing, and updates from law enforcement are anticipated as the investigation progresses. Police investigate alleged $153.9 million larceny by clerk in telecommunications company. HGP Nightly News reports authorities have launched an investigation into a significant case of alleged larceny involving more than $153.9 million, reportedly misappropriated by a clerk or servant from a telecommunications company. The suspect has been identified as 37-year-old Quincy Baird, a resident of Hearst-Telling on the east bank of Demerara. The allegations state that Baird unlawfully appropriated a total of $153,922,971 over an extended period, with the offenses reportedly occurring between July 1, 2021 and February 18, 2025. According to police sources, officers from the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, conducted an operation on Tuesday, December 23, 2025, at approximately 4:33 p.m. During this operation, they located Baird and formally informed him of the allegations against him. Baird was subsequently arrested and taken to CID headquarters, where he remains in custody as investigations continue into the specifics of the alleged offense. Police have confirmed that the investigation is ongoing, and further developments in the case are expected. Mohammed family launches constitutional challenge to block extradition to U.S. HGP Nightly News reports, Azruddin Mohammed, leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, and his father, Nazar Mohammed, have initiated an urgent constitutional challenge in the High Court aimed at preventing their extradition to the United States. They are also seeking to invalidate key provisions of Guyana's extradition laws. In legal filings submitted on December 15, 2025, the Mohammeds argue that recent amendments to the Fugitive Offenders Amendment Act No. 30 of 2009 grant excessive and unconstitutional powers to the executive branch. They contend that these changes allow a minister to control decisions regarding arrest, detention, and extradition in a way that undermines the separation of powers and judicial independence. The lawsuit claims that the amendments violate fundamental constitutional rights, including the right to personal liberty, due process, protection under the law, and access to the courts. The Mohammeds are requesting the High Court to declare these amendments null and void. Additionally, they are seeking an immediate halt to extradition proceedings that are currently before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman, along with a request for an expedited hearing to address the constitutional issues before any further legal actions are taken. A significant aspect of their challenge questions the legality of Guyana's extradition arrangements with the United States. The Mohammeds argue that reliance on an outdated treaty from 1931 does not satisfy the legal safeguards required under Guyanese law, thereby rendering any extradition unconstitutional. This is a developing story, and further updates are anticipated as the legal proceedings progress. Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa response to Facebook post by Mr. Azruddin Mohammed on Team Mohammed's page. I express my deep concern over several Facebook posts videos by Mr. Azruddin Mohammed, sanctioned by the United States, regarding my son and me. Particularly troubling is Mr. Mohammed's post dated December 21, 2025, which questions the legitimacy of my property in Bloomfield, Burbis, suggesting it was obtained through corrupt means. I categorically state that these assertions are entirely false, baseless, and designed to tarnish my reputation, exposing me to public ridicule and damaging my image as a minister in the People's Progressive Party government. The construction of my home was financed solely through a mortgage from Demerara Bank Limited and personal savings from my lawful employment. I have dedicated over 35 years of my life to public service, having previously served as a Member of Parliament, Regional Chairman for Region 6, and as a minister since 2020. I am current with my declarations to the Integrity Commission, ensuring that all my assets were acquired through legal means. I can account for every asset I own. Additionally, I have noted Mr. Mohammed's post from December 14, 2025, which wrongfully portrays my son, Javed Mustafa, as corrupt. These allegations are misleading and threaten my son's reputation as a businessman and medical doctor. I have invested significantly in his education, and his professional journey has been one of integrity, accountability, and transparency. Mr. Mohammed's hypocrisy is evident. Instead of acting as a guardian against corruption, he should address his own questionable practices publicly. His attacks on my family appear to be a diversion from his malpractices. It is clear that Mr. Mohammed intends to perpetuate these unfounded allegations against my family and me, especially targeting my son, who has chosen to distance himself from Mr. Mohammed's unethical conduct, likely provoking this personal vendetta. I wish to assure the public of our innocence concerning the allegations made in these Facebook posts and clarify that his attacks are personal in nature. We will refrain from engaging in a back-and-forth dispute with him. To protect myself and my family from further defamatory and erroneous publications, I have instructed my lawyers to review these posts with the potential for legal action. "29-year-old sentenced to 20 years for murder of taxi driver." Sayin Chemo James, a 29-year-old carpenter known as Lil Alfie, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for his involvement in the 2021 murder of taxi driver Kenrick Trim. The sentencing took place in the Demerara High Court under Acting Chief Justice Navindra Singh. James pleaded guilty to the capital offense, admitting to his presence and participation in the events surrounding Trim's murder, although he maintained that he did not inflict the fatal wounds. In delivering the sentence, Justice Singh outlined a structured approach to determining the penalty. The court began with a starting point of 40 years imprisonment, reflecting the violent nature of the crime, which involved robbery and the disposal of the victim's body. From the initial sentence, several deductions were made. 13 1/3 years were subtracted for James's early guilty plea, which spared the victim's family from the distress of a full trial. An additional 4 years were deducted based on positive probation and welfare reports, which portrayed James as a compliant inmate involved in rehabilitation programs. A further 3 2/3 years were removed for genuine remorse shown by James, who acknowledged the gravity of the crime. However, aggravating factors necessitated additional penalties. Justice Singh added 2 years for James's participation in the crime, as he was present during the attack and fled the scene alongside the principal offender. 3 additional years were imposed based on victim impact statements from Trim's family, detailing the profound emotional and financial hardships they have faced since his death. The final sentence totaled 20 years, with time already spent in custody to be deducted. Kenrick Trim, a 53-year-old from Belfield Housing Scheme, East Coast Demerara, was found dead on June 31, 2021. He had been choked, stabbed multiple times, and robbed. The loss of the family's sole breadwinner forced one child to leave school, while a granddaughter had to transfer from private to public education. Trim's widow began selling food from home to make ends meet. James's co-accused, Kenny Backus, 38, was sentenced to 30 years in prison just 1 day prior for his role in the murder, which was also characterized by its brutality. Backus has a history of narcotics-related convictions and had previously served time and faced fines. Both men will be credited for the time they have already spent on remand as the investigation continues. Gold miner fatally stabbed during altercation at Cuyuna River. Michael John Ben, a gold miner from Charity on the Essequibo coast, was fatally stabbed on Sunday during an altercation at a liquor shop in Arangui Landing, Cuyuna River. According to police reports, the incident occurred around 2 o'clock hours. Ben became involved in a confrontation with 2 males, during which he sustained stab wounds to his chest. One suspect has been taken into custody and is currently assisting police with the investigation, while efforts are ongoing to apprehend the second suspect. Ben's body is currently held at the Aranca police station, pending transportation to the Bartica Regional Hospital for a post-mortem examination. Investigations into the circumstances surrounding the incident are ongoing. Heartbroken mother blames hospital for tragic loss of baby after prolonged labor. Guyana News reports a heartbroken mother, Melissa Chetram, has expressed her grief over the loss of her baby girl, Athena, claiming that her child would still be alive if doctors at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, had honored her request for an emergency C-section. In an emotional interview with Guyana News, Chetram recounted the harrowing experience she endured on November 8, 2025, when she lost both her unborn child and her womb after a grueling 12-hour labor. The mother of 5 had looked forward to giving her husband his first child, having prepared everything in advance for the newborn. Chetram, classified as a high-risk patient, was admitted to the maternity ward on November 7 after experiencing early labor pains. Originally expected to deliver on November 17, her condition became critical when her water broke at 2:20 p.m. Upon arrival at the hospital, Chetram was advised to induce labor. As labor progressed, she repeatedly asked for an emergency C-section, expressing her severe exhaustion and inability to push. "I told them I was too weak to push and hadn't eaten properly," she explained. Chetram detailed her pleas to various doctors who came into the labor room, but her requests were consistently denied, with one doctor asserting that a patient could not request a C-section. Despite her worsening condition, Chetram continued to implore for a surgical solution. After 12 exhausting hours, medical staff finally decided to perform a C-section, but it was too late. During the operation, a doctor informed her that her womb had torn, necessitating its removal. Initially, Chetram did not mind losing her womb, thinking of her baby's arrival as the most important outcome. However, as she regained consciousness post-surgery, she learned from pediatric staff that Athena was experiencing complications and required treatment. Her worst fears were confirmed when a pediatrician returned with the heartbreaking news that her baby had passed away. When she said that, "I didn't have words anymore," Chetram recounted, overwhelmed with grief. The loss was particularly painful as it marked her husband's first child and shattered their dreams. Though Chetram has other children, she expressed that losing Athena was devastating, particularly for her husband, who had longed for a daughter. It hurts me to know that he can't get that vision that he always wanted, she shared, recalling the moment her husband first saw their lifeless daughter. In her quest for answers, Chetram sought an explanation from GPHC's maternity department, where she was told that legal protocols dictated that a patient could not request a C-section without indicating medical necessity. An official explained that if the baby's heart rate appeared stable during labor, it would be deemed unnecessary to proceed with a C-section. The GPHC defended its actions, asserting that it followed all protocols, focusing on saving Chetram's life amid complications. The head of the maternity department emphasized that Chetram faced additional risks due to being a grand multiparity patient, which can complicate labor and delivery. The tragic case raises critical questions about maternal care and hospital protocols, highlighting the need for continued discussions on improving the safety and well-being of expectant mothers. Georgetown mayor announces $40,000 bonus for city council workers. In a move to support city workers, Mayor Alfred Mentor announced that over 400 employees of the Georgetown mayor and city council will each receive a one-time bonus of $40,000 before the new year. This bonus is scheduled to be distributed on or before December 31, 2025. During a meeting with the 30-member council, Mayor Mentor explained that after a thorough analysis of the city council's finances, the decision was made to provide this bonus, which will help cushion the impact of rising living costs for employees. We made some decisions last year to provide a one-off bonus for everyone, and we have also decided to do that this year as well. We have approved a $40,000 one-off bonus for every staff member to use for Christmas, the mayor stated. The bonus follows consultations with the Guyana Labor Union, GLU, and the Guyana Local Government Officers Union. During a recent meeting, the GLU proposed a bonus equivalent to 1 month's salary for the workers. However, Mayor Mentor clarified that the council is not currently in a position to meet such a demand. While we are looking for something favorable and workable, 1 month is a little difficult for us to treat with at this time, he explained. Negotiations concerning increased salaries and benefits for city workers are expected to continue between the Georgetown mayor and city council and the unions. In addition to the bonus announcement, Mayor Mentor recognized the dedication of 5 members of the city constabulary, promoting them on the spot for their long service ranging from 25 to 32 years. Among those promoted were Pamela Brotherson, a constable for 32 years, alongside Mark Tarmon, Charmaine Garraway, and Ayanna Pompey, who were elevated to corporal. This initiative not only highlights the city's commitment to supporting its workers, but also honors the long-standing service of its dedicated personnel. Deputy Chief Elections Officer Aniel Giddings resigns from GCOM. Aniel Giddings, the Deputy Chief Elections Officer, DCEO, of the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, has announced his resignation, effective January 2026. In a brief telephone interview, Giddings confirmed his decision to step down after holding the position for less than 3 years. Prior to his appointment as DCEO, he served as GCOM's Information Technology Manager. Giddings was appointed in 2023 despite opposition from the 3 commissioners nominated by the opposition. The appointment was approved by GCOM's chairperson, Justice Reddit Claudette Singh, who cast her vote in favor to break the tie. The DCEO position had been vacant for approximately 2 years before Giddings' appointment, following the removal of former DCEO Roxanne Myers shortly after the 2020 elections. Giddings brings significant experience to the role, having implemented and managed electronic systems for national registration and the production of national identification cards. He holds a background in software engineering and has expertise in web-based and desktop application design, development, testing, and deployment. Additionally, he has studied various aspects of e-governance through courses at Diplo Foundation in Malta, focusing on advanced infrastructure and cybersecurity. Sources indicate that Giddings is expected to take up a key position at the National Data Management Agency following his departure from GCOM. Minor sentenced to 11 years for 2021 stab killing. A 30-year-old minor, Francisco Sampson, known as Junior, has been sentenced to 11 years and 6 months in prison for the 2021 killing of fellow minor Ian Anthony Ramnarine, age 38, at Obana Bakdam, Curabrong, Potaro, Region 8. The sentencing was handed down by Justice Priscilla Chandrahanif during a High Court hearing. Sampson, formerly of Lot 35, 7th Avenue, Bartica, was indicted for murder but accepted a plea to the lesser charge of manslaughter. The prosecution was led by State Counsel Caressa Henry and Fenton Budrum, while Sampson was represented by attorney N. Dean Dayal. In her ruling, Justice Chandrahanif emphasized the seriousness of violent crime and the importance of accountability. She ordered that the time Sampson has already spent in custody be deducted from his overall sentence. Furthermore, the court directed that he participate in conflict resolution and rehabilitation programs, along with psychological counseling, before completing his sentence. The court heard that on October 4, 2021, police received a report of a murder at a mining camp. Upon arrival, they encountered Sampson and his father. Sampson handed over a black-handled knife, the weapon he used to stab Ramnarine, and led officers to the location where the victim's body was found, partially covered and exhibiting multiple stab wounds. During his statement, Sampson claimed he acted in self-defense after Ramnarine struck him with a piece of wood. However, evidence presented in court revealed that Ramnarine sustained 11 incised wounds, including fatal stab wounds to the heart and lung, leading to his death. A victim impact statement from Ewart Austin, Ramnarine's father, conveyed the emotional and physical toll of the loss, describing his son as a dedicated provider and a great person. Sampson expressed remorse during the court proceedings, stating, "I am really sorry for what happened. I didn't expect it to happen like this. A life has been taken, and I want the family of Ramnarine to give me some forgiveness." Justice Chandrahanif's decision to impose a lengthy sentence underscores the judicial system's stance on violent crime while allowing for rehabilitation opportunities within the prison system. Quincy Julian secures land following government intervention. Quincy Julian, whose story gained widespread attention after he was evicted for speaking out about his living conditions, has received government approval for his own land. This swift intervention illustrates that meaningful change can occur across political lines when individuals speak up and leaders respond decisively. Quincy's journey began 4 months ago when he courageously shared his experiences on camera, bringing attention to the challenges faced by his community. Upon returning recently, it was clear that his advocacy came with significant personal consequences. However, thanks to prompt government action and community support, Quincy has now secured land and a new job, marking a turning point in his life and enabling him to build a more stable future. The Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC, played a crucial role in highlighting Quincy's plight, demonstrating how collective action can lead to positive outcomes. This event serves as an inspiring example of what can be achieved when the right people come together to act. Quincy's story highlights that even in a politically divided nation, commendable actions should be acknowledged. The support he received showcases how collaboration and accountability can lead to tangible improvements in the lives of individuals. In light of this achievement, VPAC is now exploring additional avenues to assist more Guyanese with the land qualification process, aiming to simplify the application journey for others hoping to realize their dreams. This initiative promises to open doors for those in need and promote further community empowerment. Commissioner Hicken urges CID ranks to enhance communication and professionalism. In a recent address at the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, annual awards ceremony, Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken emphasized the importance of continuous communication in the investigative process. He urged CID ranks to keep the public informed from the start of an investigation until its conclusion. Commissioner Hicken stated, "Once a report is taken, it is the responsibility of CID ranks to ensure continuous communication with the affected parties." He stressed that officers must inform individuals of the status of their cases, reinforcing that they should not have to visit the station repeatedly for updates. You cannot take a report from somebody and then they are running to the station to find out what is going on with the report, he added, challenging CID personnel to be exemplary within the Guyana police force. Highlighting the unique responsibilities of CID ranks, he noted that their work often differs significantly from general police duties, requiring a commitment to operate around the clock. He cautioned young and junior detectives against inadequate investigative practices, warning that poorly managed cases could collapse in court, damaging both the case and the reputation of the entire police force. If we are serving 99%, that 1% that we fail to give will tarnish the image of the organization, he stated. The commissioner also urged CID ranks to intensify efforts in operations, acknowledging ongoing initiatives while asserting that further improvement is essential. He highlighted professionalism and education as key areas needing attention, asserting that proper training is vital for effective information processing during investigations and interviews. To support this, Hicken announced a new training program aimed at selecting 30 outstanding ranks for specialized detective training, emphasizing the need for officers to upskill academically. Furthermore, he reminded ranks of the importance of professional conduct during public engagements, noting that unprofessional behavior could lead to disciplinary action. In appreciation of the hard work and dedication of CID ranks, Commissioner Hicken donated $500,000 to the department, with an equivalent amount donated by Queensway Security to support the CID's efforts. Police detain customs officers in connection with suspected car tax scam. News source Guyana reports more than 5 officers from the Customs and Licensing Departments of the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, have been taken into custody by the Guyana Police Force as part of an investigation by the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, into a suspected car tax scam. According to sources, police operatives conducted a raid on the GRA headquarters this morning, apprehending several officers, including 2 senior customs officers. The alleged scam is said to involve collusion between the GRA officials and a well-known car dealership on the east coast Demerara. Investigators suspect that the dealership has been collaborating with customs officers to submit false declarations regarding engine sizes and manufacturing years of multiple imported vehicles, allowing them to evade substantial tax liabilities. In some instances, vehicles' values were reportedly underreported to attract lower taxes, leading to significant losses for the Revenue Authority, amounting to hundreds of millions of dollars. Some luxury cars that were brought into the country are currently under investigation. This incident follows recent reports of a large-scale car theft and export ring in Canada with ties to Guyana, prompting further scrutiny by authorities. Investigations are ongoing as police work to uncover the extent of the alleged scam and the individuals involved. President Ali commits to building clean, safe communities in Guyana. President Dr. Irfan Ali has pledged to create clean, safe, and comfortable communities across the country, free from noise pollution and other environmental nuisances. This commitment was made during the unveiling of his government's 5-year social and economic development plan. Highlighting the importance of individual responsibility in achieving these goals, President Ali stated, "Important to the future is building sustainable communities that can withstand changing weather patterns, communities that are clean." He assured citizens that in the next 5 years, efforts will continue to improve infrastructure, ensuring well-lit streets, unclogged drains, and a reduction in noise pollution. The president also outlined a government beautification plan aimed at enhancing the environment for all communities. We're taking deliberate steps toward the beautification of our environment, creating safe family environments, and improving recreational facilities, he said. Addressing the issue of drainage, President Ali noted that consultations have already taken place regarding the Georgetown Drainage Improvement Project, which seeks to enhance the city's flood resilience through the modernization of its aging drainage infrastructure. This initiative is set to be replicated nationwide, with officials maintaining a detailed map of all drainage facilities, including existing pump stations and potential sites for new installations. The government aims to support ongoing waste management programs and provide resources for national and community cleanup drives as part of its environmental initiatives. However, President Ali emphasized that lasting change requires active participation from every citizen. We must cherish and care for the very environment that sustains us, he expressed. The beauty and cleanliness of our surroundings reflect our civic pride and personal values. Responsibilities such as reducing litter and maintaining public spaces fall to each of us. Through these initiatives, President Ali reiterated his commitment to fostering a harmonious and sustainable living environment for all Guyanese citizens. Linden gold miner charged with murder following deadly incident at social gathering. Mike Caesar, known by the nicknames Lil Man and Spanish Man, has been charged in connection with the alleged murder of 22-year-old Samuel Marciano, a fellow miner. The incident occurred on Sunday, November 2, 2025, at 14 Miles Landing, Isano, Middle Mazaruni River. According to police reports, Marciano was shot multiple times during a social gathering at the location. Authorities have indicated that 2 individuals, including Caesar, are suspected in the shooting that claimed Marciano's life. Samuel Marciano, a resident of 1 Mile, Vismar, Linden, succumbed to his injuries at the scene, leading to an investigation by local law enforcement. Caesar, 27, appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court on Tuesday at approximately 4:30 p.m., where the charge of murder, contrary to common law, was formally presented. He was not required to enter a plea to this indictable charge. The court ordered that he be remanded to prison until his next hearing set for February 5, 2026. As the investigation continues, authorities are urging anyone with additional information about the incident to come forward. Two families in Bloomfield Village receive new homes from Men on Mission initiative. 2 families in Bloomfield Village are experiencing a life-changing transformation thanks to the Men on Mission (MOM) initiative. On Tuesday, Minister of Agriculture Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa officially handed over new houses to 52-year-old Savabri Motilal, who has a disability, and 34-year-old Nalini Besessar. Minister Mustafa, alongside MOM team members Tony Amirali and Aubrey David, participated in the construction of the homes. He emphasized the initiative's ongoing commitment to helping families across the nation, especially vulnerable individuals. These families will now enjoy better facilities, a place where they can be more comfortable. We will continue to see what help we can give them in the future, Minister Mustafa stated. Motilal, who previously lived alone in a 1-bedroom wooden house, expressed her heartfelt gratitude for the positive changes brought about by the new construction. "Me glad for the help. Me glad for the government help as well," she said. Besessar, who shares her new home with her husband, 4 daughters, a son-in-law, and her elderly aunt, also voiced her appreciation. "I am thankful because the old house was so shaky," she revealed. The MOM initiative continues to make significant strides in improving the living conditions of families in need, demonstrating a commitment to social welfare and community support. Government initiative boosts Guyana's dairy industry with distribution of dairy stock to farmers. In a significant step towards enhancing the dairy sector, 19 farmers have been provided with dairy stock as part of the first phase of a government initiative aimed at expanding Guyana's dairy industry. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa announced the initiative, emphasizing the administration's commitment to integrating livestock production systems to increase output and sustainability. During a recent address, Mustafa highlighted the advancements made in the livestock sector over the past 5 years and cautioned farmers against a narrow focus, urging them to adopt integrated systems for production. We have invested over $110 million to facilitate approximately 300 embryo transplants, which aim to elevate dairy production and improve the genetics of livestock across the nation, he stated. In a push for modernization, Mustafa revealed that Demerara Distillers Limited is collaborating with an international company to establish a state-of-the-art dairy processing plant in Mustafa, which is reported to be about 90% complete. When we provide these animals and you continue breeding through the embryo transplant program, you will be able to produce additional heifers for dairy production, Mustafa added. As part of this initiative, farmers also received soilage to promote better feeding systems, thereby supporting sustainable production practices. This comprehensive approach aims to not only enhance dairy output, but also ensure the long-term viability of the industry in Guyana. The Cost of Political Wealth, a critical look at our leaders by Ronald J. Daniels. I recently read Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa's response to allegations made by Win Party leader Azruddin Mohammed regarding the lavish wealth of both the minister and his son, suggesting it is rooted in corruption. I must admit, the audacity of the minister's defense made me smile, especially as he turned the tables on Mohammed, urging him to introspect on his own alleged corrupt practices. In disputes between former allies, I believe it's wise to respect the insights they bring from their experiences. However, one cannot overlook the troubling reality that has become disturbingly normal in our society. Politicians enjoying opulent lifestyles shortly after taking office, while the masses they are supposed to serve continue to grapple with varying degrees of poverty. One must ask frankly, why are only the minister and his inner circle seemingly blessed with the fortunes that come with obscene wealth in such a short period? And this question extends to all who participate in these practices. It is remarkable how those, like the minister, who have ascended to power often appear to cultivate a sudden talent for industry, accumulating wealth only after becoming stewards of our national resources. If thrift and hard work are indeed the hallmarks of these public servants, why do they not share their secrets and best practices with the public, enabling all of us, who they claim to serve, to achieve a comfortable, if not lavish, lifestyle? Isn't this the essence of true political leadership and stewardship? Consider how many educated young professionals in business have achieved the financial success akin to that of the minister's son. Is it possible he has access to radically different opportunities than they do? The reality is stark. Politics affords those within the highest echelons of power access to both illicit and illicitly sourced wealth. Their children, too, benefit from advantages that the rest of our children could only dream of, regardless of their intelligence, ambition, or industriousness. As I reflect on the past, I am reminded of former President Burnham, who, when accused of misappropriating the nation's resources for personal gain, boldly challenged anyone to investigate his holdings, even allowing institutions to seek disclosure. Chetty Jugan, aware of the baseless nature of these allegations, refrained from taking up the challenge. Our truth is clear. While some individuals err in their attempts to advance the collective interest, others seem to flourish in advancing their personal agendas. Ronald J. Daniels. First Lady Arya Ali celebrates Christmas by handing over home to single mother and her 5 children. In a heartwarming gesture just in time for the Christmas season, First Lady Arya Ali presented a newly constructed 3-bedroom home to Tisha Spellin, a single mother of 5. The ceremony took place today, marking a significant milestone for Spellin and her children, aged between 3 and 14. The newly built home, valued at approximately $14 million, encompasses the costs of land development, fencing, construction, and furnishing. It provides Spellin and her children with a safe and stable environment, a drastic improvement from their previous living situation where they shared a single bedroom at a relative's house. I understand some of the challenges Tisha has faced, said First Lady Ali, who was raised in a single-parent household herself. This made today's handing over even more special for me. The home was delivered to the family through the First Lady's office, with generous support from Courts Guyana, Comfort Sleep, and Guyana Breweries Incorporated. This event marks the 4th home that the Office of the First Lady has provided to families in Region 3, emphasizing a commitment to uplift and support those in need within the community. As the festive season approaches, this initiative not only offers a new beginning for Tisha and her children but also embodies the spirit of compassion and community shared during the holiday season. Vendors in Georgetown report drastic drop in Christmas sales amid economic challenges. News source Guyana reports, as Christmas Eve brought shoppers to the streets of Georgetown, many vendors reported a significant decline in sales compared to previous years. Despite the bustling atmosphere, those selling goods expressed concerns about the economic environment affecting their businesses. Dylan Alacock, who has sold apples, grapes, nuts, and biscuits in the city for over 14 years, described this season as the worst he has experienced in the past 3 years. Between last year and this year is the same thing, but it's even harder this year. Business has been extremely slow, Alacock stated. He noted that while many people were out shopping, they were reluctant to make significant purchases due to rising prices. If you have a box of apples, you only sell half a box in a day, he explained. Similarly, Dawn Drayton, who sells household items along Regent Street, expressed disappointment in sales this season, mentioning that the situation has worsened over the last 2 days. It wasn't as we expected. I think it's because people don't have money. If the government paid salaries and back pay, it would have been better, she remarked. Paul Sheeran echoed these sentiments, stating that business has been slow overall. Cost of living is high. Apples and grapes are getting more expensive every day. We didn't receive our cash grant yet, and if we had, it would have made a difference, he added, indicating that he may need to change his business strategy next year. Despite the challenges, some vendors expressed gratitude for what they have. Keisha Jones remarked on the importance of being thankful for every small sale, despite the overall slow pace of business. At Borda Market, vendor Carol Jilks described business as okay, noting that some customers were waiting for cash grants before making purchases. Many vendors are frustrated with the government's delay in issuing a second tranche of the $100,000 cash grant, which they believe could ease financial pressures. However, the holiday spirit remains alive among some citizens. Shawana Campbell shared her excitement about Christmas shopping, mentioning how she managed to pick up a few items and was looking forward to celebrating the holiday with her family. I wish the whole of Guyana a Merry, Merry Christmas, Campbell said, capturing the festive spirit amidst economic challenges. As the vendors continue to navigate a difficult shopping season, the hope remains that the holiday will still bring joy to families across Guyana despite the economic constraints. Mayor Alfred Mentor calls for payment of outstanding rates and taxes in Georgetown. As the year 2025 draws to a close, Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor is urging property owners, businesses, and government agencies to pay their outstanding rates and taxes. In an interview, he expressed concern that despite measures implemented by the municipal council, 45% of the total amount due remains unpaid. We have 45% of the people who are delinquent, and many of those currently delinquent are erecting high rises. Even if they are paying their taxes, they are often paying on the assessed value of their previous buildings instead of the new developments, which unfairly burdens the system, the mayor stated. Official documents indicate that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs owes over $440,000, the Guyana Sugar Corporation approximately $200,000, and the Guyana Energy Authority around $839,000. Mayor Mentor noted these figures represent only a small fraction of the 45% in default. Highlighting the issue of state agencies, Mayor Mentor pointed out that many have not made payments despite having received budget approvals from the National Assembly. Many of these funds are allocated but not dispersed, which we need to address with the government. If you budget for it but don't disperse it, it undermines the purpose of the allocation and starves the council of much-needed resources, he explained. The mayor plans to discuss these matters with Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manikchand. While some government agencies have delayed payments, he acknowledged that the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport and the Ministry of Health have fulfilled their financial obligations for 2025. To recover the outstanding rates and taxes, Mayor Mentor warned that the municipality will intensify its efforts in 2026, including actively pursuing delinquent ratepayers, which encompasses central government, state agencies, and businesses. The city mayor confirmed that the council will enforce Section 220 of Chapter 28:01, the Municipal and District Council Act, to reclaim the owed rates. As the new year approaches, the mayor remains hopeful for improved compliance among property owners and government agencies alike. Businessman granted bail after arrest for possession of illegal firearms. Amar Prasad, a 37-year-old businessman from Bladenhall, East Coast Demerara, was granted bail of $500,000 this morning after facing charges related to the possession of illegal and unlicensed firearms. Prasad was arrested by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit CANU last weekend on Sheriff Street in Georgetown, where he was found in possession of an unlicensed AK-47 high-powered weapon and an unlicensed Taurus pistol. Although he produced a license for a third firearm found in his vehicle, authorities suspect he was attempting to sell the illegal weapons. During his court appearance before Magistrate Faith McGusty, the charges of illegal firearm possession were read to Prasad, to which he pleaded not guilty. Following the court proceedings, he was granted bail and is scheduled to return to court on January 21, 2026, for further hearings. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding his arrest continues as authorities work to address the issue of illegal firearms in the region. Financial support for persons with disabilities to boost small businesses. In a significant move to promote financial independence, 10 individuals living with disabilities were each awarded checks of $500,000 to start or expand their small businesses, part of a $5 million initiative announced by officials. The financial support was facilitated through a partnership between the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, specifically its Support Services for Persons Living with Disabilities Unit, and the Small Business Bureau, SSB. This initiative is designed to enhance economic empowerment and sustainable livelihoods for vulnerable groups. During the check presentation ceremony, Human Services and Social Security Minister Vindhya Prasad emphasized the importance of focus and commitment. She stated that access to practical resources is crucial for meaningful empowerment and urged recipients to make the most of the grants. The recipients expressed their gratitude, noting that the grants provide a valuable opportunity to grow their businesses and achieve long-term stability, especially during the Christmas season. The initiative highlights the government's efforts to support inclusivity and self-reliance among persons living with disabilities.